So just a quick video to show the solution of the problem, the catching car mileage numbers, kata, that I almost finished, but I didn't finish on stream. So pretty much what I had to do was separate the increment and decrement. I was using only one variable, but you need to use true because there is a case where it's 1, 2, 3, true, the number. So on that case, I'm counting twice, both for incrementing and decrementing because I wasn't checking them separately. So the count at the end is wrong. The other thing was that I was counting with number length minus 1, which is the length of the number minus 1. And that's a problem because then you don't consider the whole number. There's always one number that is going to be a wild card, let's say. So it can be any number and that doesn't work. So you have to make it equal to the number length here. And yeah, I separated them both. And then here I also had to do plus or equals true instead of plus or equals 1 on this case because this case I'm not catching the first number, I'm catching the second number. So in this case, when I'm catching the second, if the last number and the third number, let's say, so let's say you have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm checking the if 3 is equal to minus 4 minus 1 or 4 plus 1, and then I'm incrementing or decrementing the counter that way. And because I'm checking two numbers twice, I have to make it plus equals 2 here instead of plus equals 1 for the first iteration. And then the other ones are going to be just increasing by 1. So you put the else statement here. So the overall view is I separated this into a function. Then I check, this is another thing that you have to check for number plus 1 and number plus 2 because it's up to the two numbers above and not only the number that it is exactly 2 above. If there was an n amount of numbers, I would obviously do a loop here and then I will replace this with a variable and then increment the variable until I reach the condition that I want. But I separated the logic in this function here. And then I call this function 3 times and get one value for each time. And then I do the return statements based on the value that I got. Then here, if it's less than, return 0 because that's one of the conditions. Then I get the number length, the string of the number, then the count for the zeros. If the number has only zeros up to the first digit. This is the variable that I use. Then I use the count. I create an object for the previous to capture the previous number. To capture if it's the same or not. To capture if it's increment or decrement. So basically a dictionary to capture all the conditions. Then here I check if the number is on the awesome phrases array. If it is, I return true. Then here's the loop where I catch the digit, change the number, and then I do these calculations to compare with the variables and the dictionary later on by incrementing in case it reaches the conditions. And then here are the checks. If the 0 count is equal to number length minus 1, which is one of the conditions, I return true. The same number is equal to number length minus 1, return true. Maybe it passes all the tests, but maybe this could be done better here. Because I'm using minus 1, so there's probably one of the digits that doesn't matter. To check if they are all the same. So this is probably... but it's probably working because of the way that I did these calculations here. I'm not sure, but it passes the thing, so whatever. And then here, I check if it decrements or increments, and then return true. And then this is to check if it's a palindrome or not. I divided the number by 2. Make it an integer, and then I create 2 pointers, one starting from the beginning, one started from the end. And if they're both the same, I increment this variable because it means that it is a palindrome. And then if it is equal to the amount of times I loop over this, I return true as well. And then I check to see here. If check true or check 3 return true, it means that I should return 1 on the problem. Because of this, the description here. Yeah, if it is. And then if neither of them returns true, it means that I should return 0. So yeah, and it works. So yeah, I think that's about it. So till next time.